This is what we caught on camera. Some protesters broke into the back of that truck. There was reports on the scene from some of our reporters last night, and they set the contents of that truck on fire.
Maybe 25 people on top of a CMPD cruiser. Looks almost like an SUV. Windshields are cracked, shattered. People on the roof kicking in the side windows.
But you can see, actually, there was a pretty big explosion there. We're going to take a step back.
Off of the ground, it has been a frightening night. We have seen one person shot, and now we have a vehicle stopped there in the middle of the road. And boy, it just gives us all pause because we don't know what's going to happen.
All those people in the car. Oh my gosh,
and
just drive, just drive.
Yeah.
Police have been strategically moving the crowd along. I just saw a crowd of people running along. If you take a look, Molly and Jamie, you can see the smoke.
Because you can see people running, so we're going to send it back to you. I'm not sure what's going on.
WBTV News starts right now with breaking news.
Breaking and live right now, protests erupting after a CMPD officer shot and killed a man police said was armed in University City. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this. It's been going on all night long. We've been following it. I'm Paul Cameron.
And I'm Molly Grantham. A lot of this playing out on social media as well. Our Sarah Blake Morgan has been out there in the midst of this for hours. She has seen it remain calm and now escalating. You're in the middle of some of these protesters. We do have team coverage. You see Colleen, Sarah Blake, and Alex, but we're going to begin with you, Sarah Blake, because we know the protesters are behind you, and we want to make sure we know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, Molly, the intensity level has picked up in the past 10-15 minutes. Let's walk down so you can see exactly what's going on. We're trying to stay back a little bit because police have been using some type of gas. We did see some people running away with handkerchiefs on their faces.
We're looking at live pictures of Sky 3, and Paul, you and I are both seeing this. Everybody watching is seeing this. Maybe 25 people on top of a CMPD cruiser. Looks almost like an SUV. Windshields are cracked, shattered. People on the roof kicking in the side windows.
Sky 3 has its searchlight on there, the police helicopter as well. They have cracked the front windshield by stomping on it. They've been on top of this car. Again, we saw some of the smoke bombs go off just a few minutes ago. It is pretty much a bit of chaos going on.
And this is what we caught on camera. Some protesters broke into the back of that truck. There was reports on the scene from some of our reporters last night, and they set the contents of that truck on fire. You can see other video now from a bird's eye view of these protesters that are on 85. They were stopping traffic in both directions, so all 6 to 8 lanes were blocked overnight for at least an hour or two.
At a press conference this morning, Chief Putney told reporters a law recently passed by the General Assembly meant video of the shooting wasn't a public record. But that law doesn't take effect until next month. A police spokesman says Putney misspoke this morning, but is still denying our request for video, citing a different law that one local lawyer tells me actually says the video should be made public.
The law is pretty specific, especially around criminal evidence for an investigation, and I cannot release that.
CMPD Chief Kurt Putney told reporters Wednesday morning his department would not release video or audio of the shooting of Keith Lamont Scott because of the department's ongoing investigation. He cited a portion of state law that says police investigation records are not public. But he overlooked another part of the law that carves out an exemption for cases just like this one.
The video would certainly fall under subsection 3, which is the circumstances surrounding arrest.
Criminal defense attorney Brad Smith is talking about this part of the law governing public records, which says the circumstances of an arrest, which is applicable to this case because police were trying to detain Scott at the time he was shot, must be made public. The law specifically says police must provide records documenting resistance or the use of a weapon, which police say Scott had when he got out of his car.
Colleen Harry is live right now, and we're going to you guys when you tell us you're in a safe position to talk, not in danger. You're turning around and looking, Colleen. What do you have going on behind you?
Well, I see the crowd running, and I know police have been strategically moving the crowd along. I just saw a crowd of people running along. If you take a look, Molly and Jamie, you can see the smoke. I'm not sure if it's, I don't want to guess. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I can see the smoke going out here on Trade Street. A lot has been happening here on Trade. We're across the street from the Hyatt House, where we saw a young man kick in the front door, the front windows of the hotel.
Right now, things are fairly calm. I know it might look pretty intense, but at this particular moment, and I stress moment because 30 seconds from now, things could, quote, pop off again as they've been doing throughout the night here. But you can see, actually, there was a pretty big explosion there. We're going to take a step back. The crowds are starting to come this way. And again, this is what we've been seeing throughout the night here.
Now you can see down there, probably about 200 feet from where I am, that is where police are lined up closer to the transit center. They have pushed them further out because earlier it was all concentrated, all the people were concentrated in the middle of the epicenter, but still a lot of tense moments. As I said, there's not as many protesters out here as there were earlier today, but it's going to take a while for Charlotte to clean up from this because you can see people running, so we're going to send it back to you. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll send it back to you in the studio.
And Brigida, you just got off the phone talking with people at the Hyatt House?
Yeah, I just called them here in the commercial break because we were hearing reports that 2 employees had been assaulted by protesters tonight in Uptown Charlotte, so I finally just decided to call them and see if we could get confirmation. You see someone there trying to kick in the door, and I did confirm, spoke to someone at the front desk at the Hyatt House Hotel, that's right there next to Time Warner Cable Arena, and 2 employees were assaulted by protesters tonight. The good news is they should be okay. That is what the person who answered the phone told me. He was trying to help with that situation.